Hey guys, all right, in this video we are going to be learning how to multiply integers. First, our learning intention is to be able to find products of integers. You will be able to explain the rules of multiplying integers when we are finished, find products of integers with the same sign, and find products of integers with different signs. So first we're going to do a key term review, which you can see on your page. The first key term that we need to make sure we remember is factor. So factor is a number that is multiplied by another number. Okay, so in this example, 2 times 7 equals 14. The 2 and the 7 are the factors. Okay, and then product. Product is the result of two or more numbers when multiplied together. Okay, so if I have 6 times 4, the product would be the answer. So 20. Okay, product means answer. We're going to move down a little bit further, the communicative property. So when you multiply numbers, you get the same answer if you swap the numbers around. So with the communicative property, it doesn't matter if it's written as 5 times 8 or 8 times 5, you're still going to get the same answer, which is 40. Okay? So these terms so far seem familiar to you because these are terms that you have learned in the last couple of years. So distributive property is our next review term. And distributive property means the numbers inside the parentheses can be multiplied by the number outside of the parentheses. Okay, so if I had 3 times 7 plus 2, I could rewrite it as 3 times 7 plus 3 times 2. Okay, and if I had 3 times 7 minus 2, I could rewrite it as 3 times 7 minus 3 times 2. Okay, so you might also see it like this, where the arrows come from here. So it's telling you 3 times 7. Then I'll come over here and say 3 times 2, 3 times 7, 3 times 2. Okay, that is the distributive property. So these two terms are important for this next unit that we're working on. So make sure that you remember what these are. If you have any questions, now is a great time to star any of these questions. Any of the problems that you have here, write some questions in the empty spaces, and then we can talk about it when we do our recap. So let's flip over to the next page. On this side, we're looking at same sign, different sign. So this first one, we're going to look at the same sign rule. So in multiplying, same sign rule, if the product of two integers with the same sign is going to be positive. Okay, so the product of two integers with the same sign is positive. Doesn't matter if they're two negatives or two positives. When you times them together, they will always be positive. So 2 times 6 is 12, and negative 2 times negative 6 is 12. And here's an example that I took from the book for you. So you have negative 5 times negative 6. So the integers have the same sign, so the product is positive. The product is going to be 30. Okay, so in multiplying, same sign, positive. Now, different sign in multiplying, the product of two integers with different signs is negative. Okay, so if I had 2 times negative 6, they have different signs, so it would be negative 12. If I had negative 2 times 6, signs are different, it would still be negative 12. Okay, so if I had, here's our example, 3 times negative 4, they have different signs, which means that the product, or remember we said product means the answer, so their product would be a negative. So it would make it negative 12. Okay. All right. Any questions about these same sign, different sign rules, please star them. Write any questions you have so that you will remember them when we come back for our recap. Let's move on to the last page. This is the try it section. So I put this table in here for you. I want you to complete the whole table. It's going to give multiple expressions, and you need to find the type of product. So you're going to tell me, is it the same sign rule? Is it the different sign rule? The product, so the answer, and then tell me, is the answer going to be positive or negative? So let's do a couple together. 3 times 2. Well, I know 3 times 2 is 6, and they share the same sign, which has already been written in for us. So 3 times 2 is 6. I'm gonna write that here. Then is the product positive or negative? It is positive, okay? This one, 3 times negative 2, okay? They are the different signs, so integers with different signs. And 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Is it negative or positive? It is negative because they have different signs. You're going to complete this table. So go ahead and pause your video now, complete the table, and then come back and we'll move on. Okay, so you should have completed the whole table. We will discuss that in our recap, but we're going to move down here to find the product. So if I am timesing negative 4 by negative 12, then they are both negative numbers. So I know that my number is going to be positive. So you guys are going to try to figure out what are the answers to these products. These both have the same sign, different sign. So what is that going to lead to? Then you're going to evaluate the expressions down here. So let's do this one together. If I have negative 10 squared, negative 10 squared looks like negative 10 times negative 10. Okay? So if I rewrote it like this, now I know they share the same sign. So when I times 10 by 10, I get 100. Same sign tells me that it is positive. So that is what it's going to stay as. This one, negative 7 times negative 7, same sign, means it's going to be positive, and our answer is 49. I want you to try this one. So this is 3, but if I times, maybe I times these two first and then times their answer by this, and then see what happens. Okay, finish these 3 problems, and then we'll talk about it in the recap. If you have any questions during the try it section, please, please, please star them. Write your questions down so that you are ready to ask them when we do our recap. It's better to ask questions than to not know what you're doing. All right, guys, see you later.